Hi, I'm Brian Cummins and you're watching Live Prog.
Imagine you are a passionate musician. You're making music for many years. And then your hero says, you know what you should do? You should record an album. And what if that hero is not just a hero, but a legend? Well, this is what happened to Mr. Franck Carducci. From what I gather, he's of Italian origins, been in France for a large piece of his life and is now living in Holland. And he's been pretty much making music since he was 5 years old. Played in many bands, developed a lot of skills, plays a lot of instruments, played with or opened for some well-known names like Murray Head or Bill Wyman. And then in 2010 he got the chance of a lifetime because he could open for one of his personal heroes, which is none other than a legend, Mr. Steve Hackett. And it turns out that Steve Hackett was watching him, and in the end he says, you should make an album. Well, what do when you get an advice like that from a person like that? You listen to it. And here we have the result. Oddity by Franck Carducci. And it fell on my lap just out of nowhere, and after I got the album I got a Facebook message from Mr. Franck Carducci. Says, well, if you're interested in music, listen to my album. And I said, well, I got it. And I played it, and I think this is a very addictive album. I found that I played it and I couldn't stop playing it because it really surprised me, and it has so much to offer. It has, it's a fantastic album. And it's interesting, as you know, in progressive rock, album covers are very important, and that's why I love to hold this disc in my hand and see this artwork. And I gotta say, I don't think this is the most beautiful cover I've ever seen. Nevertheless, it does represent what's on the album. Achilles is the first song on the album. The second song is this one, Beatles inspired, I Am the Walrus, which is called The Quint. And when you look at the booklet, it says quiet plus mind, it's a putting together. The Eyes of Age, that's this old man here. And we have Alice's Eerie Dream, of course inspired by, the Lewis Carroll poem. And that leaves us with this one, The Last Oddity, based on Stanley Kubrick's The Space Odyssey. It's very evident where Franck Carducci got his inspiration. And when you listen to the music, it won't be a surprise to hear elements of his favorite musicians.
A melody that keeps running through my head only. The white, not the black, because it is maybe the dream of the flying wing. Fire and dread have already taken my mind. Lay down my brain, I will run away.
But at no time I thought that he was heavily leaning or using those influences. No, he made his own music, created his own sound. And that is, very great. Now, I said I find it a very addictive album. The styles it's a very varied album. Each song has its own mood, its own uniqueness. If we look at the first song, Achilles, that is, for me, one of the highlights on the album. A little sidestep, if you look at the times on the album, all of them clock close to 10 minutes or even way more because Achilles clocks almost 15 minutes. Heavy guitars, great Hammond organs, mellotrons, well, and yet there are some cliches in it, of course, some prog cliches, you can't avoid that, but basically I think, well, he steers away from the traditional prog idea, you know. It's not Tolkien, fortunately. No, it's inspired by movies, by literature, by other bands and by history. Those are the elements you find in it. I don't care where he got his inspiration from, as long as it's a great album to listen to. And, well, that it certainly is. A lot of variety in music. Heavy guitars, passionate music. Very nice. If you listen to Alice's Eerie Dream, you hear a Chuck Berry riff. And if you look at his biography, you see that that is one of the songs he learned when he was a young child. So you see that coming back. Now, the album originally would last 5 tracks. I guess he thought that's not enough, I need to put up some more music. I think if he would left out the last 2 songs, it still would have been an amazing album. Nevertheless, he added a cover, The Carpet Crawlers. It's one of my favorite Genesis tracks. I have mixed emotions about this one. It's not bad. It's very well done. Yeah, well, okay, it's on it. I like it. I listen to it, but I wouldn't have minded if it wasn't on the album, because I think his own music is more than enough reason to buy this album and to listen to it. And the last track is a sort of a radio edit from Alice's Eerie Dream, and well, it would be great if that would actually get some airplay, because I think he deserves it, and it would be nice to have a little more prog on the radio. Now, fantastic album. Thank you, Steve Hackett, for giving Frank the advice to make the album, because now we can enjoy it. Now, the nice thing, Frank got a lot of friends to join him, even got one friend singing a few songs. The rest is all sung by Franck Carducci. Has a very good voice, very, you know, kind of different ranges, very nice. And although it's a, well, I don't know if it's a band, it's a project, but he does perform live. Check out his website, because there will be a CD release party which you can attend. He will be performing in other places in Holland as well. So, well, but even if you can't see him live, get this album.